It's Wednesday, April the 15th, and today for our music theory lesson, we're going to talk about chords, and specifically, we're talking about triads. So the first thing I want you guys to do is just go on and check out this music theory lesson. I've put the link on Google Classroom so you can check it out. And you're only going to go about halfway through. It talks about the major triad, and then if you keep going down, it talks about a minor triad. And where I'd like you to stop is where it says the augmented triad. So you don't have to read this bottom half on the augmented and diminished triads. We're only going to focus on major and minor for today. So I'm just going to give you a few outlines, a few basics here, is that our triad has a root, a third, and a fifth. So those intervals should sound familiar. Our third is 3 steps up, right? So we have C, D, E. So that's 3 notes up, is up to the E. And then a fifth from the bottom, C, D, E, F, G, that's 5 notes up, right? So what we're doing is we're stacking those 2 intervals together to make this chord. You'll go through and read a little bit about it, and it'll explain the difference between major and minor is from this bottom third. So we talked last week about a minor versus a major third. A minor third is going to be a step and a half. So let me show you on the piano. If I'm going from C, right, and C is our root, then to find a minor third, I'm going to go up a step and a half, right? Or 3 half steps. So that minor third would be C to E flat. If I was going to try to find major, it's 2 whole steps. So here's 1 whole step, and from here, there's 1 more whole step. So C, E natural for the major third. When we're listening, if you did the lesson yesterday, listening for minor third, that is green sleeves. For the major third are the first 2 notes from When the Saints Go Marching In. Okay, now when we're putting this into a chord, you don't have to worry too much about that top fifth yet. I just want you to start getting used to how it looks and how it sounds. So here's our minor triad. Here's our major triad. Did you notice that that fifth at the top stays the same and the root stays the same? There's minor. There's major. So all you're looking at is this distance from the bottom to the third note. Now, why would we be looking at this? Why does this matter for orchestra? We've been working a lot on scales this year, and what I'm having you guys go back and kind of look at now are the arpeggios. So an arpeggio is just going to be this root, third, and fifth, and then we start over at the octave. So we would play for C major, C, E, G, that's major, and then we go up to C and repeat it and keep going, right? So that's for major scales. Sorry, I hit wrong note. And then for our minor scales, we do the same thing. We're just going to have a minor third in there. Okay, so that applies to a lot of the stuff that we're doing in orchestra. And if you can read these and you can hear what they sound like, it's going to help you a lot with your intonation in our pieces. Okay, so now for the lesson plan. I have the link in Google Classroom for you. And again, you're just going to screenshot at the end of today up to 30 of these. If you want to do more, you can. You're just going to find look for, is this a major or a minor triad? You have a 50-50 shot, guys, but don't just click through these. Really try to figure out which one it is. This is in treble clef, but I put in the link for you guys, treble, viola, not viola clef, treble clef, alto clef for violas, and then bass clef for you cellos and basses. So I put those different options for you to practice on there. Now, for for now, I'm just going to do in treble clef, but we can think through the notes together. So if we start on an E and we're trying to find the distance between the third, let's find out if it's a step and a half or 2 whole steps. So is it a minor third or a major third for this triad? So if we go from E, a half step up is F, and then F sharp, G. So that is a step and a half between those, which means this is a minor triad. And it's going to play it for you after you identify it. It gave us the same exact example, so we'll click it again. All right, now on this one, we have B, D sharp, and F sharp. So B up to D sharp. We have B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp. That was 4 half steps, which makes it a major triad. This is just like the one we had at the very beginning there, right? E, but this time we went up to a G sharp. So E, F natural, F sharp, G, G sharp. So that's 4 half steps or 2 whole steps up. That's a major triad. A quick reminder, if you haven't done these for a while, if you get it wrong, it's going to turn red, and then you can click on the right one. Before you just click through these, guys, really go back and try to see, all right, what did I do wrong? Did I count it wrong? Really try to figure out the notes between this root and third to see what you've got going on there. You might want to also pay attention to if E is the bottom note, that top note, the fifth, it's always going to be a perfect fifth above in these examples. So you can be thinking, okay, an E chord is going to always have a B at the top. So E major triad, or in the arpeggio, is always going to be E at the bottom, B at the top. That'll help you a little bit with some of your arpeggios. So give this a shot, and tomorrow we're going to try doing some ear training on them. All right, have a great day.